to a Diamondback or XTO or God help you BP or Chevron, and they shove this bullshit claim so far up your ass you can taste the ink on the summons.
In a world where danger lurks around every corner, trust can be the deadliest weapon, or the most dangerous weakness. Tommy and Cammy have made enemies who will stop at nothing to bring them down. But this time, the stakes are higher than ever. The quiet days are over, and the fight for survival begins. The sun sets over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the land. The peaceful silence is broken only by the soft rustle of leaves and the distant chirping of birds. Tommy and Cammy stand side by side on the edge of a cliff, overlooking the vast, rugged terrain below. Their faces are lit by the soft glow of the fading light, but there's an unspoken tension between them and unease that neither can shake off. Tommy leans forward, his eyes scanning the landscape. It's too quiet, almost unnatural. You feel that? He asks, his voice low and cautious. Cammy looks at him, her brow furrowed. She doesn't need to ask what he means. She's felt it too. The air is thick with something heavy. It's the kind of silence that precedes a storm. I don't know, Cammy replies, her voice steady but laced with uncertainty. But we need to stay focused. We can't let our guard down. Tommy nods, but his eyes remain sharp, scanning every movement around them. He's not sure what's coming, but he knows it's only a matter of time before something breaks the stillness. They've been through too much to think they can just live in peace. The enemies they've made, the people they've crossed, the alliances they've burned, none of it will let them rest as they stand there. The wind picks up, carrying with it a cold chill that seems to cut right through them. Cammy shivers, pulling her jacket tighter around her. But Tommy's eyes are still fixed on the horizon, watching for any sign of movement. Without warning, the sound of a distant engine hums in the air. It's faint at first, barely audible, but as it grows louder, a sense of urgency fills the air. Tommy's grip tightens on the edge of the cliff as he turns to Cammy. "We're not alone," he says, his voice edged with concern. The two of them exchange a quick look, one that speaks volumes without needing words. They know this is the moment they've been dreading. The calm is over. The storm is coming. In the distance, the engine noise grows louder, closer. Whoever it is, they're getting closer, and with them comes danger. It's only a matter of time before the calm disappears completely, and the fight for survival begins. The question is, will Tommy and Cammy be ready? A low hum vibrates in the air, like the quiet murmur of a distant storm. Tommy's instincts scream that something is wrong, but Cammy is the first to react. She moves swiftly, scanning the horizon with sharp eyes. The tension between them has escalated from a mere unease to something palpable. Her fingers graze the handle of the knife tucked into her belt, a subtle but deliberate motion. "Do you hear that?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Tommy looks over at her, his eyes narrowing. The hum of the engine is now unmistakable, no longer distant, but closing in fast. Without another word, Tommy starts moving, pulling Cammy along with him as they make their way down the rocky incline. It's clear they're not going to just stand there and wait for whatever's coming. Tommy's mind races, thinking through their options. They can't outrun whoever's after them, but they can try to get ahead of them, set a trap, or maybe find cover. But no plan feels like enough. Could be the locals, Tommy mutters, though his voice betrays his doubt. He knows better. The locals wouldn't be driving through this land at this time of night. It's too dangerous, too remote. No, this is something else. The engine sound grows louder, too close to be a coincidence. The realization hits Tommy like a punch in the gut. They're being hunted. Whoever is behind that noise knows exactly where they are, and they're closing in fast. They pause for a moment, crouched low behind a cluster of rocks. Cammy's eyes scan the open terrain, her every muscle coiled, ready for action. "We can't let them catch us." "Not like this," she says, her voice tinged with urgency. Tommy nods, but his mind is elsewhere, racing through the possibilities. This isn't just a random encounter, it's too well timed, too precise. They've been tracked. But by who? And why? The hum of the engine is now almost deafening, and Tommy feels his pulse quicken. Every instinct is telling him to move, to run. But where? The open land offers no real shelter, no place to hide. They're exposed. They're vulnerable. Suddenly, the noise stops. Silence. A heavy, suffocating silence falls over them. For a moment, neither of them moves. They don't dare. It's as if the world itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Then, like a snap of the fingers, a figure appears in the distance. It's too far to make out clearly, but Tommy's heart sinks. Whoever is behind that engine isn't here to talk. They're here for something, and Tommy knows, deep down, that it isn't good for him or Cammy. Cammy grips Tommy's arm, her fingers tight. "We need to go. Now," she whispers. The storm is no longer a distant threat, it's right on top of them. The figure in the distance moves closer, its silhouette sharp against the setting sun. Tommy's hand tightens around his weapon, the weight of it a reminder of just how real the danger has become. The quiet moment shatters as the sound of footsteps crunching on gravel fills the air. It's no longer just a feeling, it's happening. "Stay low," Tommy orders, his voice steady but filled with urgency. Cammy nods, her face a mask of determination as they crouch lower behind the rocks. Every instinct is telling them to run, to flee into the night, but they both know that would be too predictable. If they run, they'll only be chased. They need to be smarter than that. The figure, now unmistakable as a man, emerges fully from the shadows. He's tall, broad-shouldered, and his face is obscured by a mask, but the way he moves, with calculated precision, tells Tommy all he needs to know. This man is no stranger to the game. He's dangerous, not the locals. Cammy mutters under her breath. Tommy's eyes flick to her, confirming what they both already knew. This isn't just some random encounter, it's something more. The mask, the silence, the way he's tracking them. Everything screams that this man has been sent, and he's here with a purpose. They don't have much time. The man is almost upon them. Tommy can hear his breath, steady and controlled. But it's the sound of a second engine revving in the distance that makes his heart skip. It's not just one man, there's more. They're surrounded. Cammy's hand shoots out, grabbing Tommy's arm. "We don't have the luxury of waiting," she says, her voice cold, focused. Tommy nods, his mind racing. He knows they're not going to outfight these guys head on, not unless they have a plan. A split-second decision is all it will take to tip the scales in their favor. Without warning, Tommy rolls to the side, pulling Cammy with him. They move in tandem, ducking behind another outcrop of rocks as the men's footsteps echo closer now. The sound of tires on gravel signals the arrival of the second vehicle, and the crunch of boots hitting the earth follows. They've got nowhere to go. Tommy's heart pounds in his chest as the group of men surrounds them. The man with the mask steps forward, his eyes hidden but his stance unwavering. He raises a hand to signal his team to stop. They do, just a few feet away, but the tension is suffocating. Tommy knows the man isn't here to talk, he's here for something. And Tommy and Cammy are the prize, end of the road, the masked man says, his voice low, almost calm. But there's no mistaking the menace underneath it. "You've been a problem for far too long." Tommy exhales slowly, his eyes scanning the group of men. He knows what's coming, but he won't give them the satisfaction of seeing him panic. He'll fight, but only if he has no other choice. The masked man steps closer, but Cammy's hand moves instinctively to her side. The blade. She's ready to fight. Tommy isn't far behind, and together, they've faced far worse than this. But there's something about this moment, something about the odds that makes Tommy realize just how deep they've gotten into this. They're not just fighting for their lives anymore, they're fighting to survive a war they never saw coming. The air around them is thick with tension. Tommy's breath catches as the masked man steps closer, his boots crunching over the gravel, each step a reminder that they're running out of time. The seconds drag on like hours, each heartbeat a countdown to the inevitable. Cammy moves first, her eyes flicking to Tommy for the briefest of moments. She knows what they have to do, but the moment she makes a move, the group of men tightens their circle. One of them, a large figure with a scar running down his face, steps forward, his hand resting casually on the handle of a gun. The glint of metal catches the fading sunlight. Tommy's mind races. This isn't just an ambush, it's a trap. Every move, every step, has been calculated. They've walked right into it. The masked man doesn't flinch. His voice is cold, controlled. You didn't think you could outrun us, did you? He says, the words heavy with finality. This is the end of the line. Tommy looks at Cammy, his eyes narrowing. There's no backing down now. There's no escape. He takes a deep breath, his hand subtly moving towards the knife strapped to his thigh. But before he can make a move, the sound of a gun being cocked echoes in the silence. Cammy's grip tightens on her own weapon, but she doesn't make a sound. They've been in worse situations, but this one feels different. This feels like the end of the road, and that's a reality neither of them is ready to accept. Without warning, the man with the scar raises his gun, aiming